FightHype.com here with Neil Marsh, manager of David Avanesyan. I always get his name wrong.
Avanesyan.
Avanesyan. There you go. Thank you. How you doing today, man?
Yeah, good, thank you. A little bit busy with all the media requests, etc., and the school holidays, same time. Doesn't always help, but I try to do a little bit, mate. So especially on a fight like this, anyway.
Gotcha. Thank you. Appreciate you taking the time, man. So let's just jump right into it. Like, how exactly did you guys end up getting this fight? It seemed like it came out of left field. Everybody was looking forward to Crawford versus Spence, and then you guys, it's Crawford versus Avanesyan now. How exactly did it happen?
Just very quickly, mate. It's do you want the fight? Yeah. Queensbury Promotions agreed a few terms. I think if it was to put my opinion on it, I think Crawford's side had got tired and Terence wanted to fight. They haven't disclosed anything, but it was right. We're moving on from the obvious fight, what everyone's discussing. Do you want this fight? Damn right we do. David's starving. It was an easy fight to make. David's not a pay-per-view star, so there's no big obstacles. Frank Warren's just happy to deliver the fight. I, as a manager, is happy to deliver the fight. So it's an easy fight to make when you've got two teams who want it very, very quickly. So, we was already in training for the fight. We was already in a training camp in the UK. So once they came on, and with a very proactive demand, it's 48 hours or we move on to another opponent, that's like music to my ears, because that's how I'd prefer to do business rather than it taking weeks. So, and here we are, we've announced it.
Was there any preliminary talks while Spence versus Crawford was going on?
No, none at all. None at all. A few people's asking, a few people's looking for something what's not there. I put a tweet out to Leonard Ellaby and Errol Spence. I know it's not what you guys want to hear, but Terence hasn't played the fool. It's, we're here. There's been talks before about Terence. When our contract expired with Matchroom, I think Terence was with
Top rank.
top rank, and there was preliminary talks there. We'd accepted an offer then. I've just got a funny feeling Terence likes the idea of David as a routine tick-over fight, which we're here to make sure it's not.
How fast did it take for the deal to materialize? A few days, few weeks, hours? How long did it take?
40, no more than 48 hours.
Wow.
And I was my lawyer was doing Tyson Fury and Chisora. He's the same lawyer. I was mithering him. Queensbury were up late at night. I was up late at night, and we got it done. To be honest, it was a pleasure to deal with. The contract what was sent was honest. It wasn't like dealing with some promoters who want to tie you upside down, left to right, and our changes was honest as well. So that it was easy, mate. It was when an easy contract comes, just a clean contract. There's not tons of work to do on it, if you get what I mean. So we was able to get it over the line so quickly.
You just said that, it took you guys only 48 hours. You also said that when two fighters really want the fight, it's not that hard to make the fight, man. So
100%.
so just in your view, I know you're not privy exactly to how negotiations were going between Spence and Crawford, but how surprising was it for you that the fight just fell apart completely?
I don't know, because obviously I was reading it, and let's take my management hat off. I was really looking forward to that fight, and paying attention to the 147 division, because I've been banging on that many doors to get David an opportunity what we just can't get. And once them two were fighting, it was like you then put your fans hat on, and I'm looking at them and thinking that's a great fight. And there was nothing in the media which is out the norm. It's like you look at the history of Pacquiao and Mayweather, how many times they try to do that. Recently, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. You expect all the toing and throwing and the false media and people saying A, B, and C, and the other saying E, F, and G. So I didn't pay any attention, and I wasn't surprised or not surprised. It was I wasn't asked, if you get what I mean. It's not something I looked at it in any context. It was well, we're not going to get that. We'd moved on quite a while ago from the prospect of getting near any of the world title belts. Hence why we tried to do a final eliminator for David. We thought we'd always have to force something.
You know, David was initially supposed to fight, I believe, November, somewhere in November. But you know, obviously the Crawford fight happened, so you guys are just like, hey, you know, let's let's get this Crawford fight. You know what I mean? But for a little while, at least on BoxRec, David was scheduled to fight both guys in November and December. Did it take you guys?
No,
Did it take you guys a little bit of while to kind of figure out, okay, let's move our November fight to another date or some other time and just focus
no,
on the Crawford fight? Okay.
no. We didn't have time to think like that. All it was is the offer came in of Terence's people. We sent an email immediately to the European Boxing Union and we said, listen, there's been an offer come in. As we speak, we are going to be fighting November. I think it was November 16 and 19. I think it was against Miguez in a defense of the European title. We said, we're just being transparent with you. We're letting you know the situation. Being honest, I was a little bit worried because I thought, you know, you're dealing with a company you don't know. Are they playing the fool as in get you sign a contract to put a bit of pressure on Al Haymon or something? So it was like too good to be true. It was like, hang on. But once the contract came, once it was all agreed, we vacated the EBU title immediately. It was all done in 2 days. You know, not that I need to prove anything to anyone. It's all done by email, and I'm sure if anyone from the EBU speak, they'll confirm that it was just done very quickly. We're never going to keep the EBU as per rules. We'd love to keep it in case something goes wrong against Crawford, but that's not the way it happens. So we vacated the belt immediately, and there's been a announcement today that they've ordered 2 more challenges. So the idea of fighting November and December, there was no clause in the contract that said we couldn't fight before, if I remember rightly. But you wouldn't take the chance in case of injury or anything to fight a tune-up fight 4 weeks before. You know, Terence Crawford is a chance of a lifetime. It was always going to be one fight. That's it. Once Crawford's people came on, it was one or the other.
You know, since this is the opportunity of a lifetime, you don't have to say specific numbers. I don't think you
Yeah.
would, but would you say that this is going to be David's career high purse?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Also wanted to ask, it will be on BLK Prime, fairly new to the scene. You know, I mean the whole general public kind of knows them now because of this whole situation. But in your view, is a part of you maybe just a bit nervous because only because they are a little bit new? Do you feel 100% confident that this fight will in fact happen on December 10th without a doubt?
Yeah, 100%. We do certain due diligence, but let's look over the last 5, 6 years. We'll look at Frank Warren. BT Sport came into boxing. Now BT Sport are absolutely smashing it. Prior to that, DAZN came into boxing and absolutely threw bucket loads of money. So there's always a new entity that's coming into boxing. Now, all I can do as a manager is contractually protect yourself. Now, you've got to look at Terence. He's an experienced guy. He wouldn't have signed for this fight if he thought there was any doubt. I've got Frank Warren behind me, who's an Hall of Fame promoter. He's seen it all. You can only take the people on face value and contractually protect yourselves, and that's what we've done. We are very satisfied with the contract. To be honest, the other party, like I said, was very clean and honest with us. There's no maliciousness gone on. They're coming into boxing, and I think they mean business. And if Terence Crawford is the type of fighter they're going to start putting on the platform, you've got to take your hat off and welcome him with both hands.
Very true. Will David or will all of you guys, Team Avanesyan, will you guys receive a percentage of the pay-per-view split, the pay-per-view revenue or anything like that, or no?
No, nothing at all. We've got to appreciate where we are. We're just an opponent. We're not a mandatory challenger. We're not a pay-per-view star. Unfortunately for David, he did lose nearly 5 years ago in America. And, you know, he lost twice in America. So David's name wasn't as big as it should be. Since then, everybody knows what David's done in the UK and everybody's seen his improvement. And David's twice the fighter he was them days. So for us to start commanding a percentage of a pay-per-view with our history in the US, we haven't got a leg to stand on. So the answer is no.
Um, there are a lot of people that are saying that, obviously they're disappointed, but they also look at David, and granted, he's turned his career around. He's reeled off 6 wins in a row, all by knockout. Crawford has also said that as well. This guy's a real fighter. But other people are saying that, David did lose by knockout to Mean Machine, a guy that Crawford ended up knocking out. So what are kind of your thoughts on that, making it seem as though David is not worthy of this shot right now?
Completely disagree. I've said on previous interviews over the years that it takes 4 years to develop a fighter from scratch, his debut, to a world-class fighter. I think in the current climate, many fighters are being rushed. Now, over the last 4 years, David's developed. Now, he was already at a good starting point. And for people say, oh, well, he lost to him and different things. Yeah, we take our hat off. David was a light welterweight at the time. He's now a fully pledged welterweight. He's fully committed. And the guy's dangerous. And I'll put my whole reputation on it. This isn't going to be a one-round knockout. Terence Crawford, if he doesn't keep his eye on the ball, you're going to see what happens. This is too big of a prize, and David Avanesyan is a dangerous man, and you'll see. And actions speak louder than words. And don't forget, you've just said it yourself. A lot of people are disappointed in Spence and Crawford, so we're in the aftermath of that. Then you get rival promoters who are mixing bottles. Then you get people who don't understand that, for example, styles make fights, situations, circumstances. We're very happy in the UK, and everybody in the UK will say the same, that David deserves this shot. But it's not America, and just have a bit of trust in us as a team. We're not coming for a payday. We're coming for the next payday after Crawford, because first thing we'll do is we will be doing big money fights on the back of it if we pull it off. We know Terence is a pound for pound star. We know how hard it is. But just trust us. This isn't what some bitter, malicious, jealous people are saying it is. And please don't judge a fighter on performances 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Come on, guys. Anyone who's got half a brain about boxing knows a lot of improvement can happen over 4 years, 5 years' time.
100%. I definitely do think that David is definitely a very good fighter. Crawford, like you said, he's a pound for pound level guy, but there has been a lot of criticism surrounding his resume. He fought an older Kell Brook, probably didn't fight a prime Sean Porter. So people are always kind of judging his resume and saying, hey, he hasn't fought anyone. Would you consider David to be his toughest fight, at least on paper, until he officially gets in there?
Right, I've got to be careful because I don't want to disrespect Kell Brook, for example, because I've got a lot of respect for Dominic Ingle. I've got a lot of respect for Kell Brook. But I remember David's had absolutely brutal wars a couple of years ago with Kell Brook. Broke his rib, put him out of a fight. So documented all over the media in the UK. Then you look at Sean Porter. If you ask me genuinely who would win, I know Porter's retired, but who would win with Porter and David now? I would be saying that David wins the fight every day of the week, and I'd have no concern about it. So what you're saying is, what I'm saying is, on David's current ability, his form, I think David could beat Kell and could beat Sean Porter. So that could potentially answer it itself. And just wait till the fight. Wait till December 10th. We're happy everybody's overlooking us. We're happy. You carry on overlooking my little dangerous beast. And the kid's starving. He just wants his chance. He's not took him in the past. He's going to take this one.
Would you say that this is like the perfect time? Because Crawford has fought a bunch of mandatories, probably would have like 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever, build up the fight, train, things of that nature. But it's about 7 weeks or so, maybe a little bit more or less, for the fight between you guys. And then also you have he was so focused on the Spence fight, the whole world was focused on it. And now he has to kind of turn his attention towards you guys when you guys fight completely different. So do you guys think you're catching Crawford at a good time? Like, he might not be paying too much attention. We can go in there and catch him.
I don't think Terence Crawford gets where he has by overlooking people and taking his foot off the gas in any way, shape, or form. But you've said a good point. Maybe you're looking more at the Spence fight. As for 7 weeks, I think if the way it looked in the media from the UK, he was already in preparation for a fight. So I don't think, and he'd have probably been training harder than ever for Errol Spence, if he could possibly do. His inactivity, I think that'll help. David's form, that'll help. If it's rumoured he's getting paid a shitload of money, excuse me language, yeah. Is it that big of a loss to him losing Errol Spence? I can only read what you read. I'm not privy to anything. But if he was getting 15 mil for Errol Spence and getting 10 for David, is it that big of a loss for Terence? Let's say it how it is. That's it. So, listen, you're fighting someone who's regarded in the top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world. He's not going to take his eye off David. I think he might have misjudged David's ability. But he has said in an interview that David's a beast and he's dangerous. So maybe I'm just wishful thinking and hoping he does misjudge him.
How confident? I know you're going to be extremely confident. That's your guy. But how confident are you that David pulls this off? And how do you kind of see the fight playing out? Do you see David catching him? Because David has stopped his last 6 opponents. Do you think he can actually stop Terence Crawford?
Right. This is if David's got absolutely brutal world-class power now, what he never had. If we catch him, it's over. Can we catch him? He's a slick southpaw, counter-puncher. I don't know. The answer is I don't know, but we're going to find out. We have got one chance of beating Terence Crawford. And excuse me terminology, I've got a lot of respect for Terence. His team have been fantastic. We have got to smash him to pieces and hope we get through. And that's it. So let me tell you something. If you're a boxing pundit, you expect Terence Crawford to win on points or stop David late. That's what everybody thinks. But we've got to change that. We've got to take him out 100%. And that's it. And I'm under no illusion. Not that many people have hurt Terence Crawford, but we have to hurt him. We have to find a way to hurt. But if we hurt him, he's gone. That's simple as. It's I've got so much trust in David's power and his punching power. If he catches Terence, it's a different fight, man. And do we need a bit of luck on the night? Of course we do. Are we saying that we're going to knock him out and we're going to do this? No. But we're going to give it one hell of a go. And you American fight fans will have 10 times more respect for David Avanesyan after this fight. And just trust me on that.
Gotcha. Contractually, is David obligated to give Terence an immediate rematch? I'm assuming, but is that in the contract?
We don't want to speak about contractual things, really, man. It's all confidential.
Gotcha, no problem. Well, let's just say everything works out perfectly in your favor, and David pulls off the upset and he beats Terence. Is the plan for you guys to immediately, kind of take his spot and move into an Errol Spence showdown for all the marbles, man?
Yeah, listen, we're not planning about what's next. Every boxing fan knows what position David will be in if we win that fight. And listen, this is too big of a fight to start saying what's next. We've got one goal. We don't care about anyone else, anything else, what's going to happen after. We care about one thing, December 10th. And now we're going to act that man down. And that's it. And we're going to fly sparring partners in. We're going to spend money on it. There's some fantastic Great Britain kids about. We're gonna be prepared, mate. We really are. And I'm fortunate that David's very, very, very fit at the start of this camp. So, rather than going on about the camps and that, forget what's plan B. What's the next phase? We've got one task, and that's Terence Crawford.
Gotcha.